Hey y'all, I have a treat for you today. We're going to visit Marsha. Marsha's new to Verbena. They just moved here, a few months ago, and she has turned the rock house into a beautiful display. This house has been here since the beginning, 1936 era. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a craftsman style, but her style is definitely, it's just primitive. It's primitive. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. She has her travels in here, so let's take a look around the porch. She has her Santa and her manger scene in the picture, and if you'll just look around, it's just she's pulled so many different elements in to make it very, very exciting and very inviting. You just look, everywhere you look, you see something that's just simply gorgeous. I love the way that she has mixed all the old, the new old, and the old, and made it very primitive. The trees are lit. She has an iron lamb for the Lamb of God. She has the Nativity for baby Jesus, and she has Santa for our giving spirit. I just wanted you all to have a look at this porch before we go inside. So let's take a look.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Marsha.
Come on in.
How are you?
I'm well. What about you?
I have got them prepared for you.
Okay.
So let's get started here. I want her to give you a little history about how she came to Verbena. Verbena is a small little dot, and she came from Geraldine.
Geraldine in North Alabama.
Right. So I want her to tell you how they got here.
My husband and I had served in the town of Geraldine for 30 years. He had been a bivocational pastor for many years, and then the Lord called him into full-time ministry. And I had worked for Marshall Medical Center for 30 years.
Oh, gosh.
We felt the urge, the call of the Lord to leave our church. We were not sure where He was sending us. But we were contacted by Prattmont Baptist Church in Prattville to come and interview for their position, which was just a God thing because we didn't even apply.
Now, Prattmont is in Prattville,
Yes.
which is, I don't know, a lot of you don't know this, but Verbena and Prattville are about 20 minutes, Prattville's about 20 minutes south of Verbena.
Yes.
So it's a small town, small little church too.
It is. We are right on 31. And so the Lord just immediately told us we were moving.
Tell them why you said, no, Lord, are you sure?
I was a little hesitant, I will say. I was not like some in the Bible that said, okay, Lord, I'm ready. I had just built an antique store right next to our home in Northeast Alabama that I had prayed about for a long time. And the Lord had allowed me to do that. But then He had bigger and better plans for us that until we were obedient, we did not understand the blessings that were going to come from this move.
And one of the other big things is you had a brand new grandbaby.
Yes. So me and the Lord we had words.
Yeah,
We had words.
And He doesn't mind you having words with Him.
No, He doesn't. But He won.
Of course.
Yes. Life's better when we allow Him to lead.
Exactly.
And the blessings that come from being obedient you can't even count those.
Yes, she had shared with me a little bit earlier about different things that she wanted God to answer for her. And though I want to let her tell you what those things are. She had, was it 2 or 3 things you asked?
I had 2 things I prayed for in this move. Let me get a little emotional.
I know. Hey, we all do.
Leaving your home and your friends and your family of 30 years is kind of scary. So I prayed for 2 things. I prayed for a home that I would love, and that I could open up and minister to those around me, and also that my door would always be open to anyone who needs the hope of Jesus Christ.
And let me tell you, Verbena did.
They did.
We have a lot of different characters in Verbena, and I love every one of them. In fact, she lives across the street from Santa Claus, so hey, what can I say?
That's right. And the second thing I prayed for was good, godly women friends.
Yes.
Because it is my prayer that we grow closer to Him and each other.
Yes.
And that we build each other up and we pray for each other and we celebrate, we mourn, we cry, we laugh. That was important to me. And He has answered that prayer
a million times.
a million times. My community, my neighborhood is the sweetest group of women ever. My church, He has given me friendships that I can't even explain.
And I'll tell you, you all know two of her friends / neighbors. Miss Pat, who we do her decorating is absolutely wonderful, and they're in love with Miss Pat. And Charlotte, they love Charlotte. They are here in this neighborhood. She's ministered to Charlotte during her sickness. You all know how sick she's been. And Miss Pat is a lover of all things vintage also. Yes. So there's a bond there. And then we have Miss Elaine across the street. She is a delight. And I was not joking. We do have Santa Claus here across the way.
We do.
He does. But I told them a little bit about, I knew Miss Rice very well when she had this house. And she absolutely, this house was her heart. And she had a heart for our church and our church ladies. We had Bible study in this house, and she called it prayer meeting, because that's what she wanted to do, was pray for everybody. So God just continued on the mission that was started in this home. So I am just so blessed to have met Marsha and to know her. I've been trying to meet her, but y'all know I've been a little busy when all of a sudden Bucky came home and said, hey, we've bought them all. So I do want you to see some of the things that she has. This one's going to be a little long because there's so many gorgeous things. When you walk into the door, the welcome is here, because I think one of the things about a welcoming house is you see so much of the house. It's not just a small little room where you come in and then you've got to venture out. Here, you get to see so many different angles of this house. And it has such an open feeling about it. You always know that you're welcome here. But she has some awesome, awesome pieces. And this piece right here next to the door is an old cupboard. I know what it is. I've seen them before. I love them. But the way she has arranged it and put everything in it is just absolutely gorgeous. And she has a thing for pottery, just like I do. And she has a thing for all things primitive. And you pretty much stick with primitive.
I do.
She does.
That's my heart. Most things in this home have been curated over a period of 30 years. Many are very sentimental, family heirlooms. But like you said, I'm a primitive girl at heart.
Yes, she does. And you can tell when you walk up the front, when you open the front door, but first when you step on the front porch. And her tree is, and Miss Pat told me, she said her tree is absolutely gorgeous, and it is. And I love the fact that she has bells on it, and she has her little primitive socks. These are great. Did you do those?
I did not. A friend of mine from back home, another junker,
Ah.
does those, Down Home Chippy, so she can get you some if you're interested.
All right, Down Home Chippy. And where is she?
She's in Scottsboro.
Scottsboro. Well, we'll get Tam to put that down into the bottom. And y'all know I love crochet. Y'all know I'm the linen and lace girl. Look at the crochet on here.
I love linens also.
Yes. Now, I think I want to save the living room until last.
Okay.
I think I do. Normally we go living room, dining room, kitchen. I think we're going to do this a little different this time because it's got some great treasures in there. But this room is, I'm going to forever call it the blessing room. To me, this is such a blessing. I want her, I'm gonna scan down all in here, and I want her to explain to you what this is. Yes, let's open it. That's great. It's an old piece. This piece is a very, very old primitive piece. And we'll just start at the top. At the very, very top, everyone, my grandmother, and I was always so disappointed. My oldest cousin got the picture. I didn't. And then she has her primitive
Let me tell you
star.
something special about that picture. Of course, it's from the verse in Revelations that says, I stand at the door and knock, and that you have to open the door to let him into your heart. It's a personal decision you make. If you'll notice, there's no doorknob on that door.
Oh, you're so
It has
right.
to be opened from the inside. You have to allow him to enter your heart.
Oh,
That's
yes.
why that's special.
Now, I have seen that picture 100 times, and no one has ever explained it to me that way. That is awesome. Awesome.
These are treasures. The Lord has blessed us with allowing us to go to several different countries and minister and share His Word with others. And this is a collection of the items that we have brought back just as a reminder to pray for each of these countries. We have Honduras, we have Mexico, we have Venezuela, and we have Haiti, all in this one cabinet.
And it is a blessing cabinet. The people that you have touched have been so blessed in all of these. And I love the choices that she made to bring home. The choices she made are very, and I've been to these countries, and I've seen they're very indicative of the country and the things that mean a lot to the people in that country. And yes, they still carry everything on their heads.
They do.
They do. They still carry everything on their heads. They still walk everywhere they go. And there's such a delight because they're so joyful in what they do have and what they do. And this painting was also something she shared with me.
It was painted by a local artist in Haiti.
Let me get the...
We
we go.
partnered with Good Shepherd Ministries for about 8 years and provided medical care and spiritual care to the schools, the children, and the adults in Haiti.
And that picture is absolutely wonderful. There's 3 or 4 things in here I want to point out. First is the table. I want to get down so you can see. There's so much pretty light in here. They have the wheels on. And what is this?
An old freezer door.
I know it was thick. I knew it had to be a door. I just didn't know what kind of door it had to be.
An old wooden freezer door. And it has the emblem right here from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I don't have my glasses on. I can't read the date on it. But
1913. Wow. And we also laughed. We were talking about when I used to do all of my junking and vintage and everything. We always found these drawers or these places that people were going to throw away. And those were our treasures. And she was talking about, she says, yes, just like my yarn. And these are all yarns that she has collected. And I know it's been a lot of collecting too, because that's a large collection.
I actually bought a box full of those.
No way.
I did.
No way.
I sold several in my store.
Oh my goodness. To find a box full, that's a blessing. Mm-hmm. I told you this was a blessing room. This is another vintage piece. And she's made it, this is their TV room, I think. So
We have TVs.
Yes, so she's put it on the vintage piece, which I think is, and hey, everybody was talking about they don't like the black screen TVs. I love them because that way it blends in with all of everything you have.
I have no pretty way to display TVs.
No.
But, they're one of those.
Yeah, but you took the black handles,
First world
the black.
necessities.
Gotta have them. But this room is such a great room. And as you see, the lighting is so wonderful in here.
Now, that guitar was made by a local musician in Haiti. And
Oh,
he was playing
wow.
it when my husband purchased it from him.
Oh, wow. Okay, I can't stand it. Has a good sound. And this must be your new little grandbaby.
It is. She is now 15 months old.
Oh, perfect Christmas age.
Yes, lots of
Perfect Christmas age.
She'll be here next weekend.
And then this room, the rooms here, the one thing I noticed when I first came into it many long years ago, the rooms just kind of blend into each other. So, and the doors are original.
They are.
The windows are original, and they have the cross ventilation. I know
Transoms all work.
they all work. And the door was open 90% of the time in the summer when Miss Rice lived here. So I know that it works. And the floors are all original to the house. And all of the woodwork. I just want you all to realize that this house is an original treasure. And just let you know how wonderful.
The doorknobs are all original.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have to help me here. There's so much that I want to do and see for here.
You can go into the hallway here or the bedroom, either way.
Right, let's do this. This is the master
bedroom.
bedroom, and look, laying on the couch. That's
Poppy.
Hi, Poppy. Look how sweet. Yes, pose for the camera. Okay, gotcha. The mannequin is awesome. The whole room is just a visual, and I keep saying blessing because that's the word that God's putting on my heart in here, is that it's a blessing. And I normally get a word for a place. I don't know, it's just something.
It is. It is a blessing.
It's kind of weird. Bucky always laughs at me.
I collect a lot of old Bibles. You'll see them in different places. Those are some Bibles.
That's great.
My husband's mother, the artist, painted those.
Oh, is that not wonderful?
That's my son.
Oh, yes. Oh,
He is now a grown man.
I understand. These are some of the Bibles she's collected. Like she says, they'll be all over. That's a great collection of the smaller Bibles. So many of those get lost in the shuffle. This is I love pieces like this.
Money drawer.
Oh, really? I need one of those. I can probably put my jewelry in it, but might not. And I love the way she decided to display her doorknobs here. This is a little boat. That's a little hand-carved boat that I'm sure, so many people say, where do you find those things? Well, you don't remember where you find a lot of those things. All right, I'm going to let you guide us. Which way you want to go?
Okay,
we want to go that way? All right. This house is such an open house. I cannot explain to you how open it is.
You can go into that restroom.
Okay.
This restroom was modernized before we moved in, but we have added some vintage touches to it.
Yes.
This was a local find in Prattville.
Prattville Pickers?
No, at an estate sale.
Oh. I miss doing the estate sales. Marsha and I are going to be friends because I'm going with her to make estate sales.
That was another find at an estate sale, but I want to say it was in Sylacauga. That's where I picked that piece up.
This is adorable. It's got the right touches to bring it into the primitive world and bring it out of the modern world. That takes a talent. It really does.
This is a guest room.
Now, wouldn't you just love to be a guest to come in here, how inviting this is? And I wasn't joking you about the windows in this house. It is one of the most open houses in this area. It has so many beautiful windows. And here again, everything. Did you have to replace any of the window panes?
No.
Miss Rice kept it.
No, they did that before we moved in.
Did they?
Okay.
I knew it had one other owner from Miss Rice.
Yes.
But, so that's really, had 3 owners?
Well, Gary Brown is who we bought it from.
Right.
Which was Pat's brother.
Right, yes.
We bought it from Miss Rice's son, from Chuck.
From Chuck. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I'm just going to let you gaze through here. There's so many, this little windmill caught my eye. I love windmills. It's not a windmill, but and it even turns. Look at there. That looks like an old motor, fan motor.
Like a propeller.
Yeah, propeller off of something. Yes. And these pieces are so wonderful to go with it. And I would just about bet these are some more of her.
I'm not sure if those are the Bibles or not.
No, spiritual gifts.
But I love hymnal pages too. And
Oh, yes.
I make ornaments out of them. And
I will share some of my, I have a lot of old hymnals, and I'm sure you do too. Her trophy collection. These trophies are not easy to find. They're real vintage ones. So she has the best eye. She has a great eye. And also the fireplaces, of course, they don't work.
the one in our bedroom is a working fireplace.
It is working,
But we don't use it.
but we don't use it. I understand because the draw on some of these old chimneys is not that great. Yes. I just want to give you all the little touches she
That's
has.
another painting my mother-in-law painted. That quilt is special. You'll see the name Clyde Smith.
Mm-hmm.
That was my dad.
Oh.
And the ladies in the neighborhood in 1957, when he was 9 years old, hand quilted that quilt for him.
My goodness. And I love the embroidery work on the old quilt. Sometimes you don't see that.
Yeah, it is. It's all hand embroidered and quilted.
I lost it there for a minute, y'all. I'm sorry. And then here is the old ice chest. Well, no, this one's not an ice chest. This is a wardrobe.
Yeah, it's a gentleman's chest.
Yeah, because the door here is what threw me. My grandmother had one. It's just an old gentleman's chest. And then let's go on another. I carry mine on adventures all the time.
This is the second bathroom. This one has not been modernized, but it still has the cute touches to it, I think.
Yes, it does. Oh yeah, such a great one. And she's brought Christmas in here, but in such a subtle way. She has the wreath and the Christmas tree, and even though this is a flag, it still has that Christmassy look. So I love that fact when you bring in something really simple and it really makes it look like Christmas.
This is a craftsman house, so the patriotic touches, render to the craftsman
Yes,
period.
they do.
This was a door of an old wardrobe, and I use it for my dressing mirror.
Yes. Everybody needs a full-length mirror. I love that. I love the wide. See how wide that is? Oh, that's so gorgeous. Okay, next room.
This is the hallway, I guess we would call it.
And it's a very inviting one. Now, this caught my eye, and I have to know about the St. Peter's.
My husband's name is Pete, and he is a pastor. Of course, we're not Catholic, so we're not St. Peter's. But my friend found that and picked that for me.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Her business is Crossroads. She's from Birmingham.
One of the reasons it's catches my eye, I love cemeteries now. That's kind of a weird thing, and a lot of people think I'm weird for it, but I love cemeteries. And when we were in Europe, we went to a cemetery, and this is what was pointing you to it. And I told Bucky, I said, would it be bad to steal from a cemetery? So that's one of the reasons it caught my eye. Did you go to that cemetery maybe? No.
Someone probably took it.
Exactly. Well, it kind of looks like it fell down too.
It could have.
This is an old pedestal and mortar, and it's absolutely, and I love that she put it into the little lamp. And this is another interesting painting.
This is a painting from Maracaibo, Venezuela. It's the local basilica, and when we partnered with Maracaibo First Baptist, and we picked that up from a local artist. We went on our mission trips there.
It's so pretty. And that artist rendered it very well. Love the sky, the way and it is blue. So it is blue.
Church is blue.
Yep, churches, and it is blue. And I love her old count. When I was growing up, we had these attendants today.
and attendance last Sunday, and I had a Sunday school teacher who would always say, now we got to get it up next Sunday.
And this is memorabilia from my dad and my husband's father. They both served. He was in World War II, and my dad was in Vietnam. And this is just a way that we remember and honor their service.
That is gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And the Purple Heart.
His dad
That's-
got that.
Yes.
And these are the Bibles that the military issued to them when they were...
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
this is a metal Bible. And the history behind the metal Bibles, and someone may know more than me, is that they gave them metal-covered Bibles, and they would put them in their shirt pocket over their heart to provide additional protection.
Double protection. Oh, that's awesome. And all of our vintage Christmas cards. So pretty. Such a great way to display it. And I love this desk and the chair.
That's one of my favorite pieces.
Yes.
We moved it with us.
Love that.
Unfortunately, we downsized and had to get rid of a lot of my treasures, but that one came with me.
Love it. Now this a lot of times this room that we're going into next is not a favorite room, but I love a laundry room. And first of all, it's kind of the heart of the home. Everybody has to do laundry. Yes. I love our all bucket.
I use that for my trash bucket.
Yes. And the starch and all. This is, and if you'll notice in all of the rooms, it's high ceilings. Let me see if I can step back. Okay, there we go. It's all high ceilings. Even in the laundry room, it has high ceilings. And she's got her little Christmas tree. And here again, I want you to note, and it doesn't take a lot of Christmas to make it Christmas. This year, I have backed off on a lot of my decorations. The kids are older now, and so I've kind of backed off on a lot of mine. She's just taken what she had. She added red beads in there, and that has a green basket, and it just lends itself to Christmas. And I love the paintings up there. Those are very vintage.
This is the original well, how the house received water.
How about that?
And
That
I
is
have the
awesome.
hook on the ceiling for the well bucket.
All right, let's get back here so we can see it. There's the hook. We got to get you a bucket.
I know, I need a well bucket.
We need a well bucket. Wish I had my grandmother's well bucket. I used to draw the water every morning, but she had the long pipe on her back porch.
We have an outdoor well also. We have 3 on this property.
I knew that there were 2. I didn't know there were 3. That's awesome. That's great.
We
Then
have outhouses also. We
And-
have a double outhouse, and then we have a servant house called the cook house, and it has its own outhouse.
we're going to do the yard one day.
Yes, in the spring. We'll do
I
that.
think we'll do the yard one day in the spring. That would be awesome. I grew up, I was 9 years old before we had running water in the house. And I think I was 12 before we had indoor plumbing. So I appreciate an outhouse. A lot of people don't appreciate them.
We have the double, the his and
Oh, gosh.
with the concrete floor and the metal toilet.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all were uptown.
The kitchen was modernized.
Well,
You do need a modern kitchen.
I was going to
function.
say, yeah, you need it to
But
function.
we've tried to add vintage pieces to balance it.
And you have done very well.
Lighting came from one of our my antique store, and some pieces came from home, and then I've purchased some locally.
We do have some great, you have to dig around, but we do have some great places to go. I love the cedar. She has her pantry, and then all of her jars. These jars are always y'all, I churned butter, so I know exactly what those are. Yes. Oh, gosh.
I have the butter churns over there.
Oh, you have the butter. Now, we had the butter was not exactly like that. Ours weren't that fancy. Grandmother, we churned, and when it got close, when it got close, then we would, those are so cool. And then the butter molds. This one's the clover. I always like to see what they are.
I do too.
That one's the flat. Hey, that's the everyday butter. We had an everyday butter and we had a country butter, a company butter.
That we found.
Yes. Now
I'm not sure that's exactly what goes with that, but I like it.
I like it a lot. A lot. I do. Little dining area. And she has a collection of Santa cups. And I love them.
Unfortunately, several got broken or moved. And it just broke my heart, so I'm rebuilding.
Rebuilding's fun. Hey, you're going to find a bigger, better treasure. This one is, this one particular, they all know I love Santa cups.
Oh, I do too.
And I love this set.
This was my dad's lunchbox. It's an old metal lunchbox.
How about that? Such a treasure. Such a treasure. And the orange and lemon ornaments that were dried, that's a great thing. And these are pears. Such a great, for the, what is this?
I would say breakfast area.
The breakfast area.
I was told
They know my brain goes blank.
I was told it was the original butler's pantry, and the servants that served this house and the house next door would serve out of it because there's a swinging door.
True. Now, Miss Rice they have had that, they had this house for a long time.
The Gulledges that built the house is the one that had the servants.
Yes.
Served that house and this house. They were brothers, the Gulledge brothers.
The Gulledge brothers. I do remember that. Now, Betsy is still redoing her house. She's been working on it for a while. Campfire marshmallows. And the old apron on the mannequin, I love that. I have a bunch of old aprons. I'll have to open up my, if I can ever get it cleaned out, I'll open up my vintage. I can just go in there sometimes and just pull.
Yeah.
Just pull.
Love to see it.
Yes. So this goes to the dining area. If it's, yes, it would have to. It's the, oh, how beautiful. How beautiful. Now, I'm seeing it at the same time you are. This is the first time I've seen these, and I am just blown away at how gorgeous everything is. This table is a perfect guest table. Doing just what you wanted it to do is serving.
We've had 2 dinner parties the last 2 weekends.
Oh, wow, fun.
Leadership and staff from our church, so
Oh,
I
fun.
love to open my home up and cook for people.
And it shows. It shows. What's your favorite thing to cook?
I like to bake.
Oh, yes, I do. I love to eat baked.
That piece is original. It was the original cabinet for the house.
When you walked in the house, did you know this was the house?
I did.
See, I would.
I found it on Zillow. Had never heard of Verbena. Of course, we knew where Peach Park was. You know, everybody knows where Peach Park is.
Yes.
That's an old screen print that they used to make signs. But when we walked in, I just knew it, and my husband and my realtor both said, "You can't buy the first house you look at." So I went to other homes. I did my due diligence.
That's right.
The Lord kept bringing us back here. And finally my realtor said, "You're not going to find a house you like as well as that one." I said, "No, it's it." I said, "When I walked in, the Lord told me this was our new home. And this is the one for us."
And I just get chill bumps when I hear that, because I can tell this was your house. We have not, Marsha and I, actually, this is the first time we have met. Now, I know Marsha from talking, from Pat and Charlotte, talking about their Bible study and, you know, how much they enjoy each other and how wonderful she is. So, but I automatically knew this was her house after just a little bit. I knew this had to be her home, because it is exactly what she was looking for. And you know, when you ask God for something and you obey Him, He's going to give it to you.
Amen.
I mean, He's just going to. I love the yarn.
This is an 1800 door frame attached to a bookcase. So if you find an old door frame in a house,
there you go. That is a great idea, because that's such a great door. there's so many, we travel a lot, and when we go to the old places, and there's so many beautiful doors, and they're trying to tear down the places, and I'm like, oh gosh, get me I told Bucky, I said, is there any way we can get it? Nope, can't do it. Now this is what I was saving. I was saving this room for last because it is one of the most inviting rooms I've been in a while. Other than the blessing room. Now I'm loving the blessing room. I'm loving that room. But I'm going to do a scan of it, and then we're going to pull out some of the main things that make it feel. First of all, it's open to so many other rooms. Second of all, these windows are absolutely to die for. You can tell because when you walk, you can see the waves. So you know that there are original window panes in there. I'm sure there's some that aren't, but there's enough in there that you can, I wish you could see the wave in them but you can't, but that's all right. Tell me about the mantle and all of the things, especially the boxes of ornaments.
Vintage Christmas ornaments is another thing that I like to collect. So these have just been curated over the years at various places from various people. The sled is one of my most favorite pieces that I've ever had. I've had it for years. This piece was custom made for me by a friend back home, and it's very sentimental to me.
It says, for unto you is born a Savior who is Christ the Lord. Luke 2:11. We just had our nativity, and that was one of the verses we used.
Of course, these are the names of my most important blessings.
Exactly.
And this is the new one that we got to add 15 months ago.
Oh, Miss Charlotte. How about that?
Now these are from Dollar Tree.
Absolutely adore them. Absolutely adore them.
Dollar Tree Plus in Prattville is where
How
I picked
about
up the
that?
reindeer.
We're going to have to go shopping one day.
So I'm cheap now.
Listen.
I like the bargains.
I'm a bargain girl too. They'll tell you I am a bargain girl. I love the mirrors that are up there.
I love vintage mirrors. You've probably noticed that throughout the house.
I
That's
have.
one of the things that I collect. And every time I look into one, I think, man, there's no telling what stories these mirrors could tell if they could talk.
Oh my goodness, you know that.
That is
You know
a
that.
brown paper bag.
Oh my goodness, someone stitched on it. How about that? Miss Emma did it in 1833. She ran out of fabric. And what we don't think about, and the reason I think about it is because my grandmother told me these things. Fabrics were not something that you could just go and pick up anywhere.
It was a luxury.
It was a huge luxury. And so that's why there's so many things made from other everyday things. And so that it's hard to kind of put yourself back there where not only could you not find fabric, thread was a big thing too. So that's why I love primitive. There's just so much about it that's wonderful. These Holly Jolly are so sweet. And for sale by appointment only. I bet you this house isn't for sale right now. And her spools and handles. That's a cool idea. I have not seen that idea.
I found I bought a box, and it was full of spools and handles and
Oh, wow.
whatever these things are. I'm not real sure what they are.
I'm not either.
I liked them.
I like them. And I like the fact that the colored wooden spools are something that you don't find.
When
Here's
it's
a black
not
one.
Christmas, I just take the red beads out.
Yes.
Have the green and the natural wood
Yeah.
for year round.
So here again, as I've told you, it doesn't take a whole lot to make it Christmas. So many people think, well, I don't have a lot of Christmas. Well, it's very simple how to use it. Here's her old St. Nick she has.
That is very special to me. The gentleman that owned that, He was instrumental in missions for me.
Oh.
He paid for my very first mission trip,
Oh.
probably 18 years ago.
That's absolutely
And,
awesome.
Had he not done that, I don't know that.
God used him.
That's right.
God
That's
used
right.
him.
And he passed from cancer several years ago, and his sister made sure I had that.
That is wonderful. What a great story. I love stories for ornaments. Most of my ornaments have stories, and they're dear to me. But you know, God uses small things, and that to you was not a small thing, but to him it might have been a small thing. And so you just have to understand and trust. That's the problem, is trusting, having faith.
Amen.
It's
That's an old grain bin that just, is a coffee table. So I always tell people, use things
for what they're not.
ways. Yeah. I had one in my home back in North Alabama in my laundry room as a dirty clothes hamper. So it was a cute way to hide your dirty clothes.
Exactly. And what she's saying is this top raises up. We had old corn bins.
I have all my Bible studies in here.
All right. What a great way to put those. She even has them divided into sections. Oh. Well, let me just tell you how much. Oh, there's one other thing. One of the things I really.
Oh, the nuts and bolts bin.
Yes.
One of my most favorite pieces. And
Yes.
it sat flat, but I added some little hairpin legs to it to just
Perfect.
give it just a little bit of lift to make it a sofa table.
Perfect. And I love the nativity that's on it.
That came from memories.
That's just,
In Prattville.
I just love that. But I love the fact that you left the chalk printing on it. So many people want to clean them up. And I'm like, no, don't clean it up. Just wipe it off. Now, this basket here is beautiful.
That's a fish basket.
It's
A minnow basket.
It's on her hall tree as you come in to here. And we're back where we started from. And I just want to tell you what a delight it has been. It's just, this is such a heartfelt house.
Thank you.
And God has used you in a whole lot of ways. And it's all good.
Well, I'm thankful to be here.
So,
Thank you for coming today.
you're welcome. I'm just so glad that Charlotte and Pat kept saying, you need to call Marsha, you need to call Marsha. And I'm like, well, she doesn't know me.
Did you want to go to the side porch?
Oh, yes. Yes.
The portico?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. One other thing. I wanted to show this picture. Tell me about the picture.
My husband's great-great-grandmother painted that.
That is awesome. And here again, she used what she had because that is a piece of board, if I'm not mistaken.
It is actual fabric. I don't think it's canvas because she probably didn't have a canvas.
Exactly.
But it is a piece of fabric.
I just wanted you all to see that. Let's see if I can get it back here without, yes, now I can get it without a glare on it. That's so precious. Yes, I do want to go out to the portico. You know, I forgot. I forgot about it. Now, Miss Rice sat out here. I've sat out here with Miss Rice before.
We had the brick. The original house sat beside our house, and it burned.
Mm-hmm.
But they did salvage the brick, and they stacked it in the woods. So we pulled it out and had it laid as a patio.
Oh, how wonderful.
So that is the 1800s handmade brick. You can tell because they're all
Yes.
different shapes and sizes and forms.
And I love the way that you put it in there, put the gravel between it.
And the rocking chairs were found in the barn, which is over 100 years old. So
Yes.
I pulled them out.
Now I want to show y'all the barn. There's the barn. And it is original to the land. Verbena is kept a lot of the originality to it. I love the old rockers. The old stool. That was a barn stool because grandmother.
It's got the handle in it.
Oh, does it?
does.
Yes.
Could have been a milking stool. I don't know.
Probably was. And then the tabletop is it's old wood. I don't know if it was a door.
It came from a local barn. My husband tore a local barn down right behind Verbena High School.
Oh,
and this
yeah.
is some of the wood that was on the barn.
That's
We put it
wonderful.
on top of the table.
Wonderful. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm gonna back up and show you how you get. This is how you go into the house. Is through there, and you come down, and then this has been used as a garage and a patio, both. It was built to be a patio, I'm thinking. And here is the original stonemason, 1926, T.J. Griffin, stonemason.
He also rocked the school, the Verbena High School, with the same rock out of the creek.
It's
Right
out.
below us.
I was going to say it's out of the creek. I do know that. I've shown them the high school, but I'll have to go all around because the floors are still original in the high school. I want to spin around to show the rock. And it was a big creek because there's a lot of rock used in the school and in here. So, but here again, Marsha, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will come again.
Oh, yeah. Please do.
So, okay, gang, till our next adventure.